Stop, put down that can of food you were just about to open. Take a close look at your cat's eyes right now. Do you think it's craving food or just zoning out? Wrong, completely wrong. What you're looking at right now is very likely this cold, aloof little creature performing a full psychological evaluation on you. In its head, it's calculating how many seconds of reaction time you'd have if it suddenly tripped you. If it stepped on your throat in the middle of the night, whether you'd still be able to breathe properly. Don't tell yourself I'm being dramatic. In today's video, I'm going to completely strip bare this top-tier psychological mastermind hiding under the costume of a cute pet. I'm going to tell you what survival code is really hidden behind all those behaviors that drive you insane, push you to the edge, and make you question your entire life. If you don't want to spend the rest of your days getting manipulated by this little secret agent, then hold your breath and watch all the way through these 16 truths that are more than enough to change the way you see everything. Especially the last one, about why it suddenly seems like it wants to kill you. That one will absolutely send a chill down your spine. So let's dive straight into the unfathomable secret agent world of cats. Let's start with the most deceptive move of all, that dough-kneading motion that has broken the hearts of countless grown men. You're curled up on the couch, enjoying a rare moment of peace when it suddenly jumps on you and starts going to work on your stomach with both paws like a tiny baker on a deadline, usually with a rhythmic purr to go with it. Do you think it's giving you a massage or showing approval for you as its loyal servant? Actually, in its subconscious, you are playing the role of a giant, mobile wet nurse. This behavior has very deep roots, going all the way back to before it even opened its eyes. When kittens are tiny, they have to press on their mother's belly to stimulate milk flow. It's a survival instinct, and it's also the very first time in life they experience safety and happiness. So when an adult cat needs on you, it means that in that moment it has completely shut down its defensive system. It has returned to that pure, innocent infant state. It is not needing your flesh, it is confirming that you are the most solid source of safety it has in this world. It is flooding itself with endorphins, pushing itself into a half-dazed bliss state. If its claws catch your skin, do not push it away. Because you are not pushing away a cat, you are pushing away that deep, heavy mother-child bond it feels toward you. If it really hurts, put a thick blanket over your lap in advance, close your eyes, and enjoy this cross-species soul massage. After all, not every two-legged creature is worthy of being seen as mom by a cat. Next, let's talk about the gift. That makes you want to pack your bags and leave home on the spot. A dead mouse, a moth with its head torn off, or a mysterious lump of something next to your pillow. Do you think it's trying to scare you to death or punishing you because you didn't give it treats? The truth may be humiliating for a species as proud as ours. In your cat's eyes, you are a complete disaster as a hunter. It has never once seen you catch anything alive. All those grocery bags you bring home? To your cat, that's just scavenged leftovers. It is deeply worried that if you ever lose your job, you would starve to death, because you'd never be able to catch a mouse on your own. So it has decided to step in personally and give you brutally practical survival training. First, it brings back dead prey, which is beginner material for a hopeless student like you. It's saying, watch closely. This is what food looks like. Start by learning how to deal with dead things. If you show even the tiniest sign of understanding, next time it may bring you something half alive. That's your field training. It is trying to teach you how to survive in a brutal world. It risks itself hunting because it cares about you that deeply. So the next time you discover one of these surprises, put away the screaming. Give it an approving look, and once it goes off to patrol, quietly get rid of the gift. Because it genuinely believes it is keeping its giant, dumb child alive. Now let's talk about the physics experiment that sends cat owners' blood pressure through the roof. Shoving things off tables, no matter how expensive your lipstick is or how heavy your phone is. If it's sitting near the edge of a table, your cat will absolutely stare at it. With that cold, detached expression, it will extend one tiny criminal paw and slowly, deliberately nudge it over the edge. Then it will lower its head and watch the entire destruction process. Do you think it's doing it on purpose? Yes, it absolutely is. But it's not being naughty, it's conducting a scientific investigation into gravity. A cat's paws are its most sensitive tools for understanding the world. It uses touch and impact to determine an object's hardness, elasticity, and feedback. In the wild, cats use this exact batting motion to determine whether prey is truly dead. If it flicks your pen and it rolls off, your cat is mentally taking notes. Okay, this object is dead, no threat. And it also notices that the second that sound happens, you suddenly spring into action. You, the two-legged creature who usually ignores it, yell its name. That is the greatest interactive switch in the world. It has discovered the secret to controlling you. One tiny paw movement, and you instantly comply. So in the cat's mind, your desk should be flat and clean. Those objects cluttering it up interfere with its surveillance view as a secret operative. It's just helping you perform a full space cleanup. And then there's the door that must apparently never be closed. Even if you just go into the bathroom for 1 minute, the second you close that door, a tragic opera begins outside. Desperate crying, furious scratching, the kind of drama that makes it sound like you're being tortured in there. But the most infuriating part is this. The second you finally give in and open the door, it just glances inside, calmly, and walks away with dignity. That kind of behavior can make a person lose their mind. But in a cat's operating system, a closed door is a direct challenge to its sovereignty. It believes the entire house is its private palace, and you have dared to create a restricted zone without permission. It does not necessarily want to go into that tiny bathroom. It simply requires that the door always remain open to it. It must retain the right to patrol its territory whenever it wants. A closed door means there could be a threat inside, or maybe you are secretly eating something incredible without it. Its extreme need for control does not allow blind spots inside its territory. So when it cries, it isn't asking to keep you company, it is demanding the return of its all-access pass. In the wild, a blocked patrol route would trigger the entire defense system. If you don't want your doors scratched into Swiss cheese, your best option is to leave them cracked open, or simply accept that you now live in a household with no privacy. Now let's dig into that ancient ritual of burying food. If your cat finishes part of its canned food and then starts furiously scratching the floor around the bowl with such seriousness that you'd think there was treasure buried under the tile, what you're seeing is an ancestral code being activated. In the wild, if a cat can't finish its prey, the leftover meat gives off a strong, bloody smell. In a dangerous forest, that's basically a giant tracking beacon for wolves and bigger predators. Burying it helps hide the smell, protect the food from being stolen, and conceal the cat's own position. Your cat may live behind a locked front door, but the survival instinct written into its DNA never shuts off. It is trying to dig through that hard floor and bury the leftover beef in imaginary soil. If you notice the burying behavior gets especially frequent or intense, and it even tries to bury the bowl itself, that may be a message. Either the portion is too large and it wants to save the rest for later, or it thinks the flavor is so awful it belongs in the same category as waste. Remember, cats bury poop to hide their trail too. So if you want the behavior to stop, the easiest solution is small, frequent meals. Don't make it feel the need to activate its defensive burial protocol. Next up, the famous zoomies. Usually this happens at 1 in the morning. Right when you're about to turn off the lights or in the middle of the quietest possible afternoon. Your cat suddenly takes off, like its rear end caught fire. Launching from one end of the living room to the other, sometimes even using your chest as a stepping stone. With pupils blown wide and its tail puffed up like a giant squirrel tail. Science actually has a cool name for this: random bursts of energy release. You have to remember, cats are natural ambush predators. They spend 20 hours a day storing energy for a few peak seconds of explosive action. Even though a house cat no longer has to sprint to survive, its hunting energy still builds and builds, until it hits a critical threshold and then detonates at a completely random time. When your cat sprints around the house, it is conducting a live combat simulation. It is chasing an imaginary enemy that only it can see. Afterward, it usually collapses and falls asleep instantly. Like a balloon with all the air let out because the energy tank is empty. If you don't want to get trampled by little iron paws, spend 20 minutes playing with a wand toy before bed. Burn off that combat energy during a more civilized time slot. A cat that never gets the zoomies may actually be emotionally stifled or in less than great health. Have you noticed that your cat is also a world-class jealousy expert? The second you open your laptop to handle urgent work or pick up a book and actually get absorbed in it, it will accurately stomp across your keyboard, park itself directly in front of your screen, or flop right across the pages. It is not helping you proofread. It is competing for top priority. In your cat's logic, there is no dead object in this room that could possibly be more important than it is. It cannot understand why you would stare at that glowing rectangle for so long, instead of admiring its graceful posture. By sitting between you and the computer, it is physically redirecting your attention. It is telling you, look at me, I am your real business. Warm electronics and books saturated with the scent of your fingertips are irresistible to it, because it loves being surrounded by your smell. It doesn't understand the concept of deadlines. It only understands that right now, in this exact second, your eyes should belong to it. If you want to keep your job, place a small box or bed next to your monitor so it can feel like it's working beside you. Then it may settle for keeping you company instead of sitting directly on your hands. Now let's talk about that strange drinking instinct. Why does it ignore the beautiful ceramic bowl of fresh water you carefully replace every day, yet happily steal from your glass, wait by the faucet for you to turn it on, or lick water off the bathroom floor tiles? Because it inherited thousands of years of wilderness water wisdom. In nature, still water often means bacteria and decay. Moving water means freshness and oxygen. You may think the bowl water is clean, but your cat's genes tell it moving water is alive water. Alive water is safe. That dripping faucet sound is basically the call of the life source. And here's another important detail. Cats hate having their water bowl right next to their food bowl, because in the wild, a dead prey animal would contaminate nearby water. So on a subconscious level, they think water next to food is dirty. Try moving the water bowl farther away from the food, or get a circulating water fountain. You may see its water intake double overnight. Drinking more water helps prevent kidney disease, which is one of the most deadly problems cats face. That's one of the best forms of logistical support you can provide for your little operative. Now, let's go deeper into the next core point. Number 9, that affectionate-looking face rub. Do you think it's just being cuddly, or that it thinks you're handsome and wants to get close to you? The truth is, it is signing a territorial ownership form. A cat's face is covered in pheromone glands around the mouth, above the eyes, and near the base of the ears. This is an extremely advanced chemical signature system. Everything it rubs against gets stamped with its unique label. That area is now officially its property. When you come home from outside smelling like car exhaust, other people, and random dust, your cat sees you as a package with corrupted coating. That causes a huge wave of anxiety because it notices that its exclusive scent mark on you has faded. So it has to rush up immediately and rub its cheeks all over your legs, remarking you, turning you back into its person. This is one of the highest forms of acceptance. It means you have been brought inside its defensive perimeter, made into an inseparable part of its life. If a cat never rubs on you, that means it is still secretly observing you, still deciding whether or not to put your name on the deed. It uses scent to create psychological order. As long as the whole house smells like itself, it feels calm, like a general with total command. This scent map is readable only to cats. All our fancy perfumes may not be worth a single drop of what its own cheek glands produce. It is using an invisible biological chain to tie you tightly to itself. If you get out of the shower and it immediately rubs on you all over again, don't be annoyed. It is helping you recover your lost soul coordinates. Number 10. We have to talk about the most embarrassing form of feline etiquette, showing you its butt. Yes, I know that sounds disgusting, and yes, it can feel awkward. But when a cat walks up to you, turns around, raises its tail high, and presents its most private area without reservation, you should actually feel deeply honored. Because in the feline social system, that is one of the highest endorsements of trust possible. You have to understand, in the wild, turning your back on an enemy is suicidal. Kittens greet their mother this way to ask for cleaning and health checks. Adult cats only display this unguarded posture to someone they trust completely. This is the equivalent of handing you its credentials. It is saying, I am not afraid you will attack me from behind. I am placing my most vulnerable private side under your protection. That is extreme security and trust. It is even inviting you to verify its health information. That is about as direct as a human giving you the PIN to their bank card. Even though humans are not used to this kind of greeting, do not react with disgust. You can gently pat the base of the tail. That area is filled with nerve endings and is one of its favorite stress relief zones. Accept this strange and hardcore compliment. It is proof that it sees you as next of kin. It is confessing love to you through raw biological instinct. There is no fake politeness in it. It is almost too honest. This is the kind of partner that would trust you with its life, even if it acts indifferent the rest of the time. Number 11. The behavior that keeps cat owners constantly on edge. Chewing plastic bags and wires. That crinkly, crunchy sound has a deadly charm for cats. You may think it is just being destructive, but the texture simulates the vibration. It mimics prey bones crunching, which activates the pleasure center of the hunting instinct. Some plastic bags are processed with compounds containing animal fats. A cat's nose can detect even that faint temptation. To them, it isn't a bag, it is a prey simulator infused with the aroma of fat. And those long electrical cords in their eyes, those are mouse tails. Or snakes, perfect chewing targets for practicing bite force. But this is absolutely life-threatening behavior. It can lead to electrocution or severe intestinal blockages. If your cat frequently chews these strange things, it may be extremely bored. Its diet may be missing certain trace minerals. It may be trying to fill some bodily deficiency or simply relieve stress. You need to put away all plastic bags and cover exposed wires with protective tubing. Give it cat grass or proper natural chew toys. It is looking for stimulation. Your job is to redirect that need. Don't let your little operative lose its life during a training accident. As its logistics commander, you are responsible for clearing every one of those hazards. Number 12. The midnight horror at 3 a.m. That soul-piercing howl always seems to arrive right when you're sleeping best. It may be howling into empty space or shredding your bedroom door. You need to remember, cats are crepuscular hunters. The hours before dawn are prime prey activity time in nature. That is when their energy peaks even after thousands of years of domestication. Their biological clock has not been fully reset to ours. It genuinely cannot understand why you are lying there like a dead pig during prime hunting hours. It may be trying to wake its teammate, that would be you, for a simulated hunt. Or it may just be a little hungry and wants you to get up and serve a midnight snack. If it discovers all it has to do is scream, and you'll crawl out of bed cursing to feed it, congratulations, you have been fully trained. It now controls your sleep cycle with a remote. It knows that if it keeps meowing for 10 minutes, the two-legged creature will surrender. The solution is harsh but simple. No matter how tragic the cries sound, you must not react. Even if you're furious, you cannot give any feedback at all. The second you give it one successful response, you lose this midnight war forever. Feed it a hearty dinner before bed with a little extra protein, and that can help push back its pre-dawn chaos window. Number 13. The famous law of boxes. If it fits, it sits. It doesn't matter how small the box is. Even if only half its body fits, it will cram itself in there and commit. To a cat, a box is the perfect hidden bunker. Walls on all sides provide full physical security. In the wild, cats must constantly watch for larger predators. An enclosed space means it only has to monitor one opening instead of tracking threats from every direction. That drastically lowers the brain's workload. This wrapped-in feeling works on the same principle as swaddling a human baby. It triggers something called contact comfort, which helps the nervous system relax. Studies have shown that cats with access to boxes have significantly lower stress hormone levels than cats without them. Cardboard also insulates well, and its scratchable texture meets every aesthetic requirement a top-tier secret agent could want in a safe house. Even if you just draw a square on the floor with tape, a cat may be attracted to that invisible boundary, because deep down it craves order and a controllable private zone. So stop throwing out delivery boxes. To your cat, that is a luxury private shelter. It's one peaceful refuge in a noisy world. Number 14, staring into the void like it's looking at a ghost. This is one of the creepiest moments in life with a cat. It fixes its gaze on an empty corner of the wall, completely focused, ears twitching faintly like radar dishes. You look where it's looking. There is nothing there but white wall. Stop scaring yourself. It is absolutely not looking at a ghost. It is tracking high-frequency information that your dull sensory system simply cannot access. A cat's sensory range is outrageously broader than ours. They can see ultraviolet light, floating dust mites, and tiny flashes in the air may look to them like neon signs. They can hear frequencies up to 65,000 Hz, while you, clumsy human, tap out at 20,000. It may be hearing something, the tiny vibration of water in your neighbor's pipes, the microscopic footsteps of an ant inside a wall, or the high-pitched scream of one of your aging appliances. It's military satellite-level hearing and vision. Make it the highest-grade security system in the house. It is not communing with spirits. It is monitoring a highly complex physical world. Trust its judgment. If it looks tense or suddenly arches its back, there may actually be a physical anomaly there. For example, the tiny spark noise from a shorting wire. It is more reliable than most expensive sensors. It is nature's chief security officer assigned to your home. Number 15. Why does your cat lick you so intensely? That rough tongue feels like a little strip of sandpaper, scraping across your skin, sometimes enough to sting. In the feline world, this is a grooming ritual. It is not just cleaning. It is a top-level form of social acceptance. Mother cats groom kittens this way to clean them and create the earliest emotional bond. Adult cats only groom each other when they are close allies or members of the same family. So when your cat licks you, it has officially added you to its inner family circle. It is trying to tidy up your chaotic appearance. According to its own standards, it leaves its scent on you while also collecting your biological information through its tongue. That deep scent exchange means we are a shared destiny unit. If it licks you with unusual intensity, sometimes with little nibbles mixed in, it may have picked up on your emotional fluctuation. It could be trying to soothe you, using that repetitive rhythm to settle your anxiety. It is an incredibly gentle form of psychological massage. Yes, the sensation can be uncomfortable, but please try to tolerate it, because this is a VIP pass into the deepest emotional layer of a cat's private world. It genuinely sees you as someone that needs care. In its eyes, you are forever the clumsy family member that requires maintenance. Number 16. The astonishing truth behind the sudden pounce. You are quietly walking past the couch on your way to the kitchen, when your cat suddenly launches from the side like a precision-guided missile. It smacks into your shin, then vanishes at light speed before you can react. What it is actually doing is combat training with you. You need to understand, hunting is a skill that requires lifelong practice. It has chosen you as the imaginary opponent, through which it sharpens those skills. That sudden ambush and leap means its mind and body are in peak condition. Its wild instincts are alive and well, not dulled by boring indoor life. It chose you as an opponent because on some instinctive level, it considers you worthy. When it jumps, its claws are usually tightly tucked in, because it is not actually trying to injure you. It is enjoying the thrill of chase and counterchase. If the ambushes become more frequent and more aggressive, that is a loud warning. Your social interaction game during the day has been terrible. It is too bored. You have become its only entertainment, and you need to provide more active toys. You need to release that hunting energy in the right place. After everything we have talked about, do you feel like your little household agent has become even more unfathomable? The truth is, cats are not really arrogant or cold-blooded. They are just trying to adapt to the awkward world of a clumsy two-legged creature. They are using an encrypted language we do not naturally understand. All those habits that drive you crazy are actually wisdom forged by survival. Every tail flick, every stare, every strange little action is a piece of living code. It is a code refined over millions of years. Once you understand that code, you can finally evolve from being a simple food dispenser. You can become an irreplaceable close ally in its life. You begin to realize that in this cold world, there is actually a soul. It is loving you in a way so strange, so specific, and so deeply ancient. So here is the final question. What weird thing has your little psychological mastermind done that completely baffled you? Or has it ever saved your bad mood in one of these bizarre cat ways? Tell me your wildest stories in the comments section below. Let us all find out whose furry overlord is the most deeply undercover secret agent. Do not forget to like, follow, and share this video. Because if you miss these truths, you may never learn how to read the deep affection hidden in your cat's eyes. In the next video, I am going to uncover an even scarier truth. If your cat has become completely disappointed in you, what subtle signs of emotional retreat will it show? Want to know how to win its heart back? I will see you next time. Stay curious, and I will catch you later.